Hi! You want to learn the JavaScript, most important language that powers all the websites on the internet in just few minutes? Stick with me. So first thing first, JavaScript is all about variables. Think of them as a containers of data. Let's go with this example. Let's start with an let name John. So this is John is a string and name is a variable. The way we can do variables is three different ways. We can use let, setting a name and equal to the value of John, and if we put in small brackets, that's a string. If we do a const, that's another way. For the constant value, that will be equal const h will be assigned value of 25 and 25 will be a number. That's type of a value. And use the var, which is old school one, stands for the variable, which was existing before that. Let's make it isStudent equal to true. True is a Boolean value. We'll always have either true or false. Right now, isStudent is a Boolean value. And to test it out, we will use a console of the browser over here, down here, and we will write console.log, and we want to see what is the name of value. We save, and now we got name John. If we want to console log one more value, let's go with the h, save, and we got like John, age 25. Functions. These are like recipes. They take inputs, do something, and give you an output. Let's go with this example. Function, we'll name that function greet. We'll put a name, which will accepting a name, which will be a parameter. And in curly braces, we're opening what the body of the function, and we're returning a value, which is string hello, comma, space, plus, so we're concatenating values. This name, which we will be giving to the over here. And now, after we declare the function, we want to run the function. So our function called name, you see that over here, and I'm using console log just so we can display it visually. We will write ace and save it and say hello ace. That's what our function does. It says hello plus name. We wrote the parameter for the function ace, which is string, but we can use a value which we made before, which is an actual name. So we can put like this, save it, and we'll say hello John. And if we change that name from John to Becca, save it, and it will be hello Becca. So that's pretty much basics of the function. So first you have to declare the function. So you have to basically write that function from very beginning, and then you want to use it later. Every time you use the function, you opening and closing brackets. So that's how you instantiate like actual running function in line. Conditionals. Now let's talk about decision making with if statements. Let's take this example. Let me comment out this line. So we have a new value, which is age 20, and a next line would be let age 20, and if. Now we have a conditional. So we're starting with the if, we're opening the brackets, and we use this value of the age, which we set that before, more or equal to 18. So if it's more than or equal to the 18, then we will console log this message, you can vote. Otherwise, you are too young to vote. And I think we just saw it on the right. You can vote. Now let's change that value below 20, let's say it's 10, and you are too young to vote. So that's a quick example of the if statement and conditionals. Loops. Finally, loops. Want to repeat something over and over? That's where for loops come in. Let's go with this example. The loops are very important in JavaScript. They use almost everywhere. Maybe not in the way of this loop, but they're basically everywhere. So let's go with the for loop. So this loop, as you can see, what are we doing right now? We're starting with the for, we're opening the condition for that loop. We're starting with a let I, so that will be iterator, will be 0, so it will start from 0. Then we put semicolon, and then we say I is less than 5. So that's condition when it stops that loop. So it starts from 0 and when it should end up. And the next condition will be what we'll have to do. Basically we'll be increasing value of I by 1. So plus sign stands for just adding 1 to the previous value. If it started with 0, we just add 1, it will be 1, add 1 will be 2, add 1 will be 3, and so on until we reach to that condition. So basically, this is the whole rule condition how loop should go. Now we're closing the brackets, opening the curly braces, and inside the curly braces, what we want to do with this conditional loop. Do we want to, right now, as we saying, console log every value of every loop? And over here, let's remove that code for now. Over here we have this loop. It started with 0, if you remember over here. Then we got to the 1 and to the 2 because we are always adding, and it's looping all over the time through that condition. 3, 4, and now we reach to this condition where it should stop. And since 4 is less than 5, it's okay. But then on the next loop, I becomes 5 and I is not the less than 5. And then the loop stops over here. So that's basically a looping element. So we can loop across anything. It could be any values. Loops helps us automate a lot of stuff, like anything in the programming. And that's how you just quickly dived into the JavaScript, foundations of the JavaScript in just few minutes. Of course, this is not enough. JavaScript takes much more learning than HTML, CSS. This was a very basic intro for beginners, just to showcase this is not a scary thing. It's easy to learn if you start small and if you progress it every day. And through the time you can improve more and more. Let me know if you liked this video by leaving a like, and consider subscribing to the channel Devon Wine. See you later. Bye.